welcome to Roots. Here to have a chat with Matt. Today we have Molly Hogg. Welcome.
Hello.
Molly.
Hiya.
I believe you've just been recording some songs with us downstairs.
I was indeed. It was lovely. It was really, really good.
What I'm always interested in is what is the cover that you go for?
I went for Flume by Bon Iver today, so one of my favourites. This is one of those ones that's sort of like, it's in the roots of like, you know, it's not very, not well known, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to know it to know it.
Okay, it's one of those things, it's an absolute classic. Somebody would say a banger, I would not say that because I'm too old. So you've been releasing singles since pretty much 2017.
Yeah, I have been indeed.
And we were chatting earlier on, I was listening to your song My Ladies, in which you talk about the potential of being a cat lady.
I did indeed talk about the potential of being a cat lady. It's not something to be ashamed of. I hold my hands up. Be a cat lady if you want to be a cat lady. I've changed to sausage dogs. I'm now more down that road. I think it's more it'll be where I'll experiment rather than cats. But yeah, I did.
I suppose maybe sausage dogs, less hair to gather up.
Exactly, definitely. Doesn't really fit in the song as well, but you know, find something. Maybe write a song about it someday.
I mean, like, what's a good number of sausage dogs, like for a sausage dog lady?
Currently, I'm at 6. And they're all going to be named after different pastas. So it'll be like spag bol, tagliatelle, carbonara, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, currently that's the roots of where I want to be going with it.
So you're from the northwest?
I am. I'm from Limavady.
Is there much of a scene up Limavady direction?
In Derry, Londonderry, there'll be a lot of stuff going on, and in the port, like around there'll be a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, it's always been, but in Limavady, not so much. It's a great town, and I do love it, but I can't wait to get out to like a big city and go somewhere else.
I was going to ask about that. You know, obviously. You're playing all over the place. You've played Stedenhall Festival. You've played lots of festivals, but is Belfast and Dublin, you know, are those places that you feel you need to get to and play?
Possibly in the future, if like somebody were to approach me and say, "Come down and play in London this weekend," I'd be like, "Yeah, let's go. Like, let's go on, pack up my bags." But I think I more have the idea of maybe going. Like, I was actually over in England over the summer at Not Tide Festival, which was a great wee festival. But it was like that was my first thing overseas, as far as I've ever been, and it was such an interesting thing to actually get to do. But no, yeah, definitely, I think going further at reach would be, you know, interesting to do.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I wanted to ask about the sort of general theme of the music you write, because we were talking earlier, and I was saying, you know, I've seen sort of old cat ladies first and foremost, but you know. We were talking about perhaps addiction or, you know, bad relationships, that sort of thing.
I've written songs about a ridiculous amount of things, like most, as you said, mostly about addiction. A lot of my songs do span from that, just because like I think everybody somewhere in their life will experience bad relations with addiction, and I think it's an important thing to talk about and to discuss openly without, you know. And I, for a very long time, talking about like those issues, because I mean I have personal experiences with other people like with addiction, so I know how that feels to be hurted, like hurted. Yeah, great English, Molly.
It's okay. Stop and say it again. You can cut it. It's fine.
But yeah, like I think everybody has some sort of bad relation with it at some point. So being able to talk about it through music is something that I've used as like a diary for a really, really long time. And I think I'll always use it as like my little like therapy corner of like the internet where I get to release music and be like, listen to my sad songs.
Therapy as songwriting is an underrated thing.
Extremely.
So your new single, is it Whiskey and Red Wine? Did I get it right?
Red Wine, you did indeed.
Cool. So is that along the similar sort of thing?
Yeah, I had written mostly, I don't really know what had triggered it for me to decide to write a song called Whiskey and Red Wine, because realistically it's not something I'm sure you'd want to mix. But I think for that reason I was sort of like, oh, like it works, like it's a good rhyme. And I had been in like a local bar called Frank's in my town. If you're from Limavady, you'll know it has like the Game of Thrones door and everything in it. It's class.
Sure.
But I was in there and I sort of was like, there's so many locals in it. and they all come here to like socialise. So I wrote a song about it, basically. That was, and sort of about alcoholics and stuff. So again, leading back to the topic of addiction. But yeah, it's a good one. I haven't. This is the first time I've actually been properly like played and like going to be released somewhere. So
yeah, I know I have like some experience of being a sound guy. I find the most boring thing is listening to drunk people talk about themselves. And so there's a whole mine worth of information there to.
That's like a thesis. We could start talking about that. Like that's a whole other thing. I think it sort of comes along with addiction, being very self-centered and being in that thought process that it's all about me, when realistically you're affecting so many people around you at all times. So
sure.
But no, I can't imagine it being the most fun experience to have to listen to.
Before meeting you today, I was just taking a look on YouTube at some of the work you have on there, and Pray. It looks like you had so much fun making that video.
It was so fun, so much fun. Honestly, see, like being able to hold. Like I'm not an aggressive person at all. Like I capture bees and bugs and put them outside our window rather than splatting them. Like that's just like, and I'm not being like cliche. Like I'm such a nice person. Like genuinely, I can't. Like I don't do it. So being able to hold a big metal rod and smash a window through was absolutely class. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so cool. Like I was like, yeah, hit the window. Like
it seemed so cathartic, but where did you get a car to wreck for your video?
Well, I just know people. That it's basically my dad, random thing. He owns a concrete plant.
Sure.
So there was just a car sitting, and I was like, Dad, can I please smash up a car? Even though you love me and I'm your favourite like child, please let me smash up a car. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, seriously? Really? Are you joking?
I didn't think that would work. What's going on?
Yes. Like it was buzzing. So yeah, I got to smash up the car for that, but like it wasn't working or anything, just in case like you watch it and you're like, is this a working car that she just smashed up? Ungrateful. No, it was broken and like was unable to be fixed. Like it was going to be wrote off. So we ended up using that. So yeah.
So it wasn't just like regular night out in the Mavati. This is like dystopian future.
That's it.
It's like everybody's organising into gangs and like it's wild violent.
Yeah, that's sort of like, it's an average night in Limavady, that's thing, but yeah.
That's your jam.
That's my thing, yeah. No, it was sort of like, I think because of COVID, it really was like everything is against me right now. So I decided to write a song about everything being against me and how the world sort of felt like it was falling apart. So that's why I sort of wrote that, and that's why the X across my eye, completely random. My dad was like, go do your makeup for the video, and I was like, okay, and I came down with like X's all over my face, and he was like, Molly, what? And I was like, join the rebellion, like and it's just an easy like marketing thing. So
sure. No, it was very cool. So if people want to check you out, where can they find you online?
You'll find me on Facebook at Molly Hogg Music, on Instagram. I'm not very active on there, I will hold my hands up and say it. You can find me on Spotify, on YouTube, and all of the like normal like streaming platforms for like listening and stuff. So yeah, you can find me on there.
And what's next for you? It's your new single, yes?
Well,
have you got something else coming?
I'm doing my A-levels.
Oh, that is a thing.
So it's kind of taken over my life at the moment, and it's a bit like, whoa. But I have to go to uni. I don't have to, but I want to. So I think I'll do performing arts, and then from there you might see me on West End someday.
Fantastic stuff. Well, Molly Hogg, thank you so much for coming in to talk and have a chat with Matt today.